good afternoon. Happy Aloha Friday. Welcome to the 49th edition of Manoa Valley Theater Live. My name is Devin. How's it going? I would like to introduce the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kip Wilborn, our executive director for MVT. How's it, bro?
All right. How's it with you?
Good. I am fine, if a little soaked. Hi,
Hey,
Andrew.
Andrew's making an appearance.
Sorry, technical
We're
director.
having a little technical.
As you can tell, he's on top of the whole technology thing because he just sort of popped in. Anyway, how are you, my friend? So what's going on? Yeah, no kidding. We're looking good. Can we tell the mayor to just open everything up for the theaters and just let everybody in?
No, yes, but we're not listed.
No, we're not.
They're not talking about us.
I know. I feel a little gypped, man.
Killing me. So yeah, everybody call the mayor's office. Say, get on it. Let the arts open up again.
Right, exactly.
But nonetheless, we've been really fortunate. We've been able to have quite a few things in the house, and then we have a show opening on next Thursday.
Yes, we do.
Coming up, Popcorn Falls.
Holy smokes!
Two-man comedy by James Hinman, and it is funny. In the 90 minutes, there's no intermission. In the 90 minutes, these guys play over 20 different characters.
That's crazy.
Because basically, they're playing the residents of Popcorn Falls.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. The rehearsal last night, and then after that, we've got Tiny Beautiful Things auditions coming up March 21 and 22. And then after that, we've got the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee, even before Daddy Longlegs. So we've got our season. That'll be at Kaimuki High School. And then Daddy Longlegs will be at MVT July 1 through 11. So also we have coming up stage makeup classes with Lisa Ponce de Leon. They'll be on Monday evenings via Zoom. You can get more information about all these things on our website. Just check it out there, and there it is.
There you go.
.com.
Yes, indeed.
And support the arts. Support us.
Please.
808-988-6131. Make a donation, or on the website. And because we all want to be there when it's all over. It's getting better, but we want to survive it.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. Awesome.
Well, what else is going on with you, man?
Nothing. I'm just happy we're opening up. We're in tier 3, doing the radio thing, and hoping to see a live show very, very soon.
Well, I heard there was going to be one at.
I think we've got that part covered. I think, I think we might be talking to a couple people that might have something to say about that. Kip, thank you very much for being here. We're going to see you at the end of the show.
All right. Yeah. See you later.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kip Wilborn, our executive director, our fearless director. At this time, I would like to introduce our two guests. They have been working tirelessly for weeks to entertain you. I mean, they're rehearsing to entertain you. I mean, they're going to be entertaining on the live stream, but you know what I mean. In any case, they are going to be performing live in front of an audience at Manoa Valley Theater in just about 1 week. It's actually pretty cool to think about. Brandon Carr is a relative newcomer to Oahu's theater scene, but has been in productions in the Actors Group, also Honolulu Theater for Youth and Kumukahua Theater. And Nick Amador was last seen on stage at MVT as Brad in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, and is a current junior at Harvard. Together, they are the entire cast of Popcorn Falls, which is going to, again, open up on Thursday. Please welcome Brandon and Nick. Hey, guys.
How you doing?
Hello, gentlemen. How are ya?
Good to be here.
Doing well. Okay. It's great.
Awesome. All right, so let's jump straight into this. What possesses two actors to say, you know what? Can I play as many characters as humanly possible in a show? And do it as the first show that I do back on stage.
Punishment.
Was that the thinking, Brandon?
Punishment for all the wrongdoings I've done this year. Well, for me, it was a challenge for me to do something like this. I have not, especially since coming to the island, the plays I've done have not been multiple characters changing so fast. Fast pace, a comedic play. They've been more of the darker side of things. So this was a great challenge for me to do, and I accepted it and was really grateful to have the chance to be a part of it, especially to work alongside Nick, who has been established, and everybody that walks in the theater knows Nick. Nick and whoever the plus.
That's always awesome, yeah. Okay, so what about you, Nick? What drew you to the project? What made you say, "Yeah, okay, I'm a junior at Harvard. Let me see, can I make life more difficult for myself?"
Well, it's been so long since I've done a show in front of an audience. Everyone's talking about how their Facebook memories are coming up from a year ago, and it's finally a year since everything shut down. And I was in a show in Cambridge when that happened. Our run got cut short, so I've wandering around aimlessly with nothing to do, and finally I'm doing a show, which is so much fun. And the aspect of it that involves playing multiple characters, it's actually funny because the first show I did at Manoa Valley Theater was Fun Home, where I played, I think it was 4 different characters, and now I've expanded to about 12 or 13. So it's just such a fun challenge to play around with different physicalities and voices, and yeah. And let me just say, it's such a pleasure to work alongside Brandon. My goodness, he's so talented, and Rob is such a wonderful director. It's been a real pleasure.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, I wanted to ask you, in finding your characters, what came first? Was it a physicality that helps you distinguish them, or is it vocally, or did you find it? Did you work? I guess. Do you work differently? Like Nick, do you find it physically first and then vocally? Do you go vocally and then first? Or how does it work?
This show, it kind of depends on the character. For some of them, as I was reading the script, a voice just kind of popped out of the page for me, and for some, a certain physicality popped out of the page for me. And then over the last couple of weeks, I've been working to kind of fine tune those things. So it really depends on the character. It depends on the kind of conversations they have. It depends on where I'm sort of drawing from, but it's been a cool process, and I'm excited to show a whole audience what I've been doing.
To show how many people live in my head. Brandon, what about you? As you were coming up with your characters, how did that work out for you?
Well, I just choose different people from my family. It's Uncle Carl. And no, it's there's a little bit of truth in that. It's picking different people that I have a little bit of experience with in my life, like whether it's a guy I worked for when I was 15, or my 3rd grade teacher, or somebody, or a parent of a girl I had a crush on when I was, in high school or something, and those little pieces of somebody that you remember, and you're like, oh my God, I got to remember that guy. I got to remember his walk or the way he talks or something. And you just hold on to that. And then it just kind of bubbles to the surface, whether you know it or not. And it finds its way into the page. But, I will say some of the characters, I actually am watching Nick, because we play the same character at certain aspects in the play. So early on in the process, Nick and I were talking, and I said, I'm going to watch how you do this character, and then I'm going to mimic how you do this character, not my version, but your version, because he plays.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that our representation of one character
is the same,
matches
right?
Each other, the walk, the talk, the way they hold their arm, and he was great. He's great to watch, So I just was. So basically, I'm going to do what Nick does. So I'll just
That makes things so much easier, right?
Yeah.
Hey, if I can back up just a little bit, Brandon, give us some of your background. Like, where did you learn acting? Where did you first get the bug? That kind of stuff.
I started acting a little bit later, I think, than maybe some people. I started in college. I was doing some poetry kind of stuff, stand-up poetry, like slam poetry, and a college came to me and said, we will pay for you to go to school if you come and do forensic speech and debate with us. And so I started doing theater with them, and then I moved to LA and just studied and studied and studied, and was doing theater and theater and theater. And then I took a break because I'm a voiceover actor, and as that started to take off, I stepped away from theater for years. And then when I moved to the island, I was like, well, I wonder what kind of a theater community they have here. And I was so pleasantly surprised at what a great and supportive theater community, you know, the island has. And just, I mean, it just blew me away. And since then, I just cannot stop myself from being a part of this community.
That's nice. Awesome. Yeah. And you've worked with Kumu, you've worked with actors group, and man, actors group, they don't do easy stuff, man. It's
yeah. I mean, that was the actors group was the first play I did on the island.
Wow.
It was a True West from Sam Shepard, and
okay.
Yeah, and I played the Lee character, the one that John Malkovich really had a breakthrough with. And for that play, especially coming back on not doing theater for so long, I really had to let the clown out of the box to grapple with that character. And it was great. But yeah, I mean, like you have to take it to an 11. You really have to you have to go all the way with that guy, because there is no, holding back. There's no moderation. And that was great. I had a wonderful experience there.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Wow. Nick, what about you? I mean, like Brandon said, everybody knows Nick. It's Nick. But just in case people are coming to this unawares and going, that's Nick? His hair is so long. I don't recognize that guy.
Long now, I know. Yeah, I've grown up in this community. I've been doing shows for about half of my life now. In 6th grade, I caught the bug. I auditioned for Aladdin Jr. at school. Tony Young was directing, and I was the Sultan. I got to wear a really fun, tall hat that looked like a drum. And then from that point on, I've been auditioning for every single possible thing that I could have at school. Diamond Head Theater, Manoa Valley Theater, TAG, Hawaii Shakespeare Festival, and then I went to college at Harvard and have been doing shows pretty much constantly there up until COVID hit.
Yeah, I mean, you've both had such varied experiences in terms of your on-stage, I guess, repertoire, the shows that you guys have done. I mean, do you feel like all of that has kind of prepared you for this, where you're having to do funny and be broad, and then also, 20 different characters?
Absolutely. I would say there are so many. This show has, so much packed into it in just 90 minutes. The fact that there's only 2 of us on stage and that we're pretty much on stage the entire time means that we've, got to access a lot of our emotional range. There are funny moments. There are really, really touching moments. It's all over the place. And so, yeah, I feel like in a lot of ways, it's a culmination of a lot of the stuff that I've been working on for a while now.
Nice.
Yeah, I would say that with just being on the island for a couple of years and being able to be a part of other productions, I don't know if I would have been able to do this production as the first thing I've done on the island since I hadn't done a play in years. I would have been like, wait, I don't get it. There's no way I can do that. I don't get this. What are you talking about? Like, you want me to do what? But, what I have just reminded myself, and the community has reminded me of, just in the talent of people that are directors like Rob, is I just put my faith in their hands. And I'm like, if he tells me to do it, I'm just going to do it. Like, I don't question anything. I'm like, sure, whatever. You want me to try it the other way? Oh, you want me to do it the other way? Okay, you got it. So it's, I just, whatever, I just keep an open mind. And I know that when I'm in good hands, nothing's going to go wrong. They're not going to steer me wrong or make a fool of me or anything, as long as I just commit to whatever they want me to do. And, I will say my experience has taught me more than anything to let go, which,
nice.
Instead of trying to hold on to control, just let go and trust the people around you,
Question for you both, like, what has the rehearsal process been like? Because I'm not sure, because when everything was cast, we were deep in this whole COVID thing, and you can't meet with people, you can't talk to people, so now you have to step on stage with another actor neither of you, people are getting tested. What's happening? So, what were the protocols that you guys followed? Because basically, it's the three of you standing there going, "Okay, you go here. Here's your blocking," that kind of thing. What was that like, Brandon?
It was, I mean, our rehearsals have been masked, and everybody has been masked, and we have taken such great, like, strict measures. The moment where we walk in, every rehearsal, temperatures, questionnaires. I mean, like, they really have done such a great job making sure that other people around are protected, and which has been awesome. And then with Nick and I, I mean, when we're on stage together, we have been wearing our mask, but when we perform, we are not going to wear our mask, which is great. So I've just basically locked myself in a room away from my family, and I'm just not going to talk to them. No, there just comes that, like, I make an effort to not go out, to not put myself in large crowds. I mean, I am, it's kind of like when you're doing a play, I wouldn't go skydiving or extreme skiing just because if I break my leg, like, we're going to have to put the production on hold for a second. I think I'm approaching it like that, where I'm just like, all I do is stay at home. I watch Netflix and then I go to rehearsal. Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good, right? I'm good.
This is cool. Nick, what about you? What's the experience been like for you?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. Don't have a lot to add to what Brandon said. Recently, we've been incorporating the tech crew into our rehearsals. We had our tech rehearsals. We've been doing dress rehearsals recently, so the entire crew is masked. We just have one person from the crew who's backstage, sort of fielding all of our props and costume pieces and making sure that things don't fall apart. And everyone's distanced. And when the show happens and people come in, the seating is distanced. Everyone's going to be wearing masks, so super safe. It's been really, really nice that everyone who we've been working with has been super conscientious of everything like that.
Very cool. Hey guys, I'm hoping, because Brandon, you said earlier, you just go, you just leap. I want to try something. Okay, so we're gonna test out the link that the two of you have as actors. I want you to describe for me Popcorn Falls, but I want you to do it one sentence at a time, each person taking a sentence, and I just want to see where you guys go with it. You down for it?
Yeah, I love it.
Sure.
Okay.
Right.
Nick, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a town that didn't have any water.
But a group of dedicated people came together to find themselves a purpose.
And that purpose is theater.
And that theater can change minds and move mountains and hopefully bring some water.
The end.
Was that it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a real short summary.
I was like, come on, keep going. Let's go. What's it? Yes, and? Is that the improv rule? Yes, and. Yes, and.
Yes, and. Yes, and. That was killer, you guys. That was awesome.
I was waiting for Nick to bust into a different character. He's gonna.
I know. I was waiting. I just wanted to. How about we talk about that? Can we talk about maybe either one or two of your favorite characters that you're going to play in this show, and if you can give just a brief description of them. Nick, I'll start with you.
My favorite character that I play, hands down, is Mrs. Step. She is a 6th grade teacher, and she's a chain smoker, and she doesn't give a crap what anybody else says. So be quiet.
Brandon, what about you?
I think just recently one of the characters I have fallen in love with is Mr. Upmall, because I wasn't sure who he was until just 2 nights ago. I walked out on stage during rehearsal, and all of a sudden I was a drunk Irishman. And then Mr. Atmore became, he was what? I want to be in the play as well. Can I, you should time for a performer. And he was not written that way. I was doing him something different until I was like, I'm here to audition for the play. And that was it. It was like, I think I got him. I mean,
That's
you never know.
amazing. That's amazing. So we'll say some nice stuff about Rob, because every so often it's nice to be pleasant to the director, even though you're almost done. So how about talk to me a little bit about what it's been like to work with Rob on this project? Brandon, I'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I couldn't have asked for a director better who could really just take my insecurities and go, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be just fine. I mean, like, I've had very candid conversations with him where I'm like, okay, now look, Rob, look, I don't know. And he's like, it's gonna be fine. Just trust, and I listened to him, and I mean, I must say I'm very grateful to be in the hands of, and you can really tell a director who's an actor as well, because they can speak the language, but they know how you think, they know what you're going through. And to be able to talk a common language, I can just get it. Like, he can say a couple words, I'm like, got you, rather than talking around what I'm trying to get at, rather than talking results, he talks more process, and that helps me, it just helps me out to find certain things. And he gives me room to experiment. And that is so important for me, to just try things, fail, succeed here, fail there. What worked one night didn't work the next. And he's really created an environment that I can make mistakes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's where Drunk Irishman come from. So very cool. Nick, what about you? What's it been like working with Rob?
Yeah, Rob is great. Rob has a very clear picture of what he wants in his head, but at the same time, he leaves so much room for us to bring our own choices and come to rehearsal with questions, with different options. He tells us, oh, that really worked, keep that, or maybe try something else here. But on the large scale, he really he understands the essence of this play, I think, which is super important, because it's such a specific kind of energy that comes with something like this. It's I've never seen a play like this before, but it's so fast paced and it's so quick, and like I said before, it's funny, but it's also got a lot of heart, and there are scenes where it slows down and you have to take a breath. So it's been really great to especially in the last couple of weeks, kind of fine tune all of those things. Rob has been an incredible support for that whole process.
Wow. And, I forgot that there's no intermission. I mean, you guys walk on stage and then you're there. You're not, you pretty much have each other, and that's going to be it for 90 minutes, right? So,
Yep.
wow.
The best 90 minutes of my day.
Mine too.
I almost want to come back and talk to you guys again after you open, or after you've been open for a week or 2 weeks, because as we all know, you do theater and stuff happens and you just kind of got to be prepared. So I almost want to bring you back just so we can sit down. Okay. So the first show, like, who forgot their line first? Or who forgot to do something first? You're like, how did you guys cover this? Because because again, as a two-man show, you rely so much on each other. I mean, do you feel like you work together enough now where there's a shorthand where you look at him and, Brandon's eyes get really big and Nick goes, okay, we're going to cover right about here.
Yeah, I will say definitely. When we were rehearsing the other day, I think I skipped something or messed up on something, and rather than us stopping, it was more of us moving ahead. Like, Nick was able to fix it, and that just when you have faith in the other actor on stage, that if you mess up, they're there to catch you. you know, and so
Mhm.
that always helps to know that that person that I'm opposite with, whether like it's a scene that you're or a character that you are just at odds with completely, you know, as an actor, whatever happens, they've got my back, and that is so important. And so I
Mhm.
think there is that kind of, when you work on something, especially as a two-person play, as long as, you know, we have when we're on stage, it's, you just end up, you can kind of finish, you're like, I think you skipped that part, we're gonna move ahead, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know, you just you kind of you're able to catch each other. So
Yeah,
That's really
and that,
cool.
that trust extends too past just the technical stuff. You know, it beyond
Mhm.
even just forgetting lines or what scene is coming next. It's been really nice to kind of we've been discovering new moments within the
Oh.
script
yeah,
every time that we rehearse. Just new, very very subtle emotional changes in our conversations, and we have the kind of working relationship now where I feel like we can pick up on those cues
Mhm. Mhm.
and
Yeah.
hopefully anyway deliver a really authentic performance.
That's so cool. So, I guess because it's just the two, it's pretty much. I mean, obviously, it's all run throughs, but I mean, did you get to the run throughs pretty quickly? Like, did you get to the through part pretty quickly, or was it a lot of finding characters and then going, okay, put them all together?
I think
Nick?
we got there pretty quick. When
Mm.
I compare this process to the processes of other shows, I feel like we reached the point where we were off book and just kind of like doing shows,
Mhm.
doing full runs of the play back to back pretty fast, which is
Wow.
nice because it's given us a lot of room to find all that specificity that I was just talking about. You know, if instead of just having like 3 dress rehearsals before we have to go to an audience,
Yeah.
it's just been nice, and you know, yeah,
Because I've been in those shows where you're
oh,
like, holy crap, we have an audience in like 3 days. We haven't
yeah.
actually done a full run through, have we?
yeah,
Oh, you know, so I get you. I get you, man. I totally get
Sure.
you. Yeah. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I believe it or not, we're actually almost out of time. I got to bring Kip back on here, but
Wow.
congratulations on the wonderful work that you're doing. I wish you all the luck in the world. I can't wait to see it on
Thank
stage.
you.
It's going to be fun.
Thank you.
And honestly, when the audition notice came up, I went, how many characters? Yeah, somebody else can do that show because there's no way I'm going to be able to. So I'm glad that it's the two of you. I'm so thrilled that you had the internal fortitude to say, you know what, I'm going to do this, because there are many more of us who went, yay. I'm glad somebody else is taking the plunge. So thank you guys. You're very brave. You're very brave. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry. Before we go, anything you want people to make sure they look for when they come to see the show, Brandon? Like one thing that you want to leave people with when they come to see the show that they should look out for.
You know what? I don't know about one thing to look for, but I will say, seeing live theater, there's nothing like it. I mean, I know that COVID has really just handcuffed people from like really seeing live theater, and people have adjusted the best they can, whether, you know, seeing it in their cars or whatever. But when people come to the theater and they sit in the seats again, to really just cherish that moment of being able to sit in a theater again. Like, I know that there are things I haven't done in a while that when I do, I'm going to be so grateful that I probably would have not had that gratitude if something like COVID didn't happen. And to be able to have an audience sit in a theater, I mean, really, theater is about just such a live experience. So all I would say to people is just take a minute before the show starts to really take in that environment, to be able to be in theater again and to just enjoy that moment, because it's been so long, you know, since people have been able to do that.
Nice. Nick?
I couldn't have said that.
Ditto?
I couldn't have said that better myself. I one thing that I think is going to be a fun detail for people in the audience to look out for is to kind of track the different props, because there are only so many of them, and they all serve so many different functions. There's this one prop that's a rag at one point, it's a head cloth at another point. Got
Oh,
these
wow.
erasers that are their phones and walkie-talkies and stun guns. It's just, it's. I think that'll be a fulfilling experience for people.
Okay. Thank you so much, Brandon, Nick. We really appreciate you spending the time with us, and good luck. Break legs, all four
Thank
of them,
you.
while you're up there
Thank
on stage. Don't forget to check out Popcorn Falls, everybody. Kip, come on back, sir, please.
I was wondering if I was going to make it back.
No, how about these guys, man? I give
Hey,
them credit, dude. There's
Fantastic.
just
Brandon, so well said. So well said. Yeah, it is.
yeah.
It is. It is a community, a communal experience. That there we go.
I want to be in the show, Dad. Come on.
This is a safe environment. Where's your mask?
So listen, everybody, come see the show, and thank you guys so much for being in the show and also on our show. And we'll see everybody in the theater.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, everybody. Have a safe weekend, a nice dry weekend, hopefully, and we will see you all right here next week. And make sure you check out Popcorn Falls.
That's right.
Aloha.
Aloha.